Good morning, everybody. It is the 21st. Gosh, is it really? Man, this has gone by fast. Wow. It is the 21st of February, 2018, a Wednesday. And we have activity and movement and volatility, and that is awesome. It's lovely to have a degree of movement in these markets, especially in the equity markets. I don't know if any of you guys trade futures, but I know everybody else is complaining about it, but man, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Kind of never a really healthy sign when the big three, you have the sisters, you have the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, the ES, and the Dow. This is how the Dow moved yesterday. Fell down. NASDAQ moved the opposite of its peers. It's kind of a funky. It's always different when that happens. So the Dow closed down, NASDAQ closed up, Dow and the ES closed down. I think we can expect to see some further down move here. And our dollar index, oh, it's going beautiful. Yes. So let's look at our trades from yesterday. We had some great moves yesterday. My wife made me tea. It's a little different than the coffee I drink. All right, let's look at our trades. So our first trade yesterday was New Zealand dollar. We wanted to go short. Make sure that adjusts appropriately. We wanted to go short on a pullback to the 738, 73.8, or a break below the 73.4. We haven't really had either one of those really play out to a major degree here. We're still trending lower, so we should expect to see lower prices. Even on this viewpoint, we've been riding this line ever since the 20th. I mean, ever since Monday, we really haven't deviated much from this pivot line. So it's in an accumulation phase, consolidative phase. But, depending where this moves, we should expect to see a pretty large move. I'm still banking on it having some downward bias due to weakness in metals compared to the dollar. So keep your eyes on this one. Euro pound, that did work out really nicely yesterday. We had that nice flush over Monday and Tuesday, kind of hung around, and then we wanted to short on a pullback we wanted to short at 88.08, which we did yesterday. Where are we at yesterday? 21st. I want you to look at, actually, what am I saying? I'm looking at two different things here. No, yeah, we didn't. We wanted to get in at 88.08, but we found support at this 88.05 zone. That's good short on the hourly. Have this trend line coming down, facing some resistance here. Oversold on our composite index, showing selling signal on the RSI too as we're approaching that overbought or overbought conditions. That's good. Just caught that one. Thought might. I want to put in that trade myself. We do have some news coming out here. Euro pound, okay. Euro dollar. What a boring trade yesterday. We wanted to short at a pullback to 123.71. And no, wait, you know what? I take that back. That Euro pound did work out great yesterday. I just never took the trade. Or I didn't get a fill. I was late. Did I? I do a lot of trades. Sometimes I forget what I did. Okay. Euro dollar 123.71 is what we wanted to pull back to. We did not get that. We've just kind of been hovering around in this area all day. It was just kind of a dull move. Now we finally broke down a little bit, and we're continuing to trend lower. Not a lot of strength to try and lift this guy up. He's, continuing to show some weakness, and we should look to see that continue as we get, the news right here. Red Book coming out, PMI 845, and then home sales, which those should be fairly decent numbers. I'm assuming. All right, and then let's see. Look at our dollar yen. We want to go long on any pullbacks to 107 and 106.6. We've got. Where did I put that? We've got rejection off of our VWAP here. I don't know. I put the VWAP on. I was showing somebody else something about the VWAP, but we're still showing a lot of strength here on this move. A fantastic move from 105.57. We made like 200 pips of movement, and that's a pretty cool move. A really nice move. Exhibiting a little bit of weakness here, not uncommon before some news release, but really responsive bouncing area. Good possibility of a long, but if I want to re-enter long, I've got a couple things going against me. We got a reversal area in time that is a probability, and we have some weak resistance right up above us. Looking at it from this direction, we still have a lot of move above us, but we are above this angle. That's good. So we should test the next one, which is all the way up here. That's our next angle in our square that we should test. That's up at the 110.4. So long-term look, that's where the target could be. Why are we facing some resistance right there? Well, let's take a look at this trend line, which is almost in line perfectly with this one. Well, not perfect, but a similar look at this angle. So we've got some resistance up above, but on the hourly, we do have some supportive buying signals on our composite index. So let's keep an eye out for that. Did find resistance right on the VWAP, so keep your eyes out on that. We wanted to go long again at 722, which we did get. This long has been excellent because our first buy was, I'm looking back, we kind of took longs off around there. Yeah, we started adding after the bounce here. That's right. Okay. Yep. I've taken quick trades on here because Yeah, I'm not interested probably in going along until we get another bias to cross above this resistance and get a pullback on it. All right. Okay. Let's see. Other trade, Aussie dollar short at 78.88. That has worked out perfectly. Aussie dollar showing quite a bit of weakness. Remember yesterday I was talking about this area. When we come down to this arc, we should find some type of supportive buying. But if we don't, we should expect a big drop down. But as we get lower here, when we're inside this arc and we're going to be up against the 78.12 line here, this is a strong support area. So we should look at some bouncing happening, but for the time being, that short is still active. It's still good. That's nice being in profit. It's actually pretty nice. Okay, XAU USD. We wanted to go short at a break and hold of the 1337.19 area, which we did have. Nice break here. This is where we wanted to go short, was if it broke and held, which we do have. And we found some support at the midway here, which is also, we're around this angle here. So again, we should find some short-term support, probably a retest of this area. Again, if we're going to go from swing to swing, we've found support at the 618 here. That's not uncommon. We get a breakdown of it though, we'll go to the 78. But keep your eyes out on that gold trade. We may or may not. We have probably get a re-entry at that 1337.19. Also limits a lot of our risk further up, because our stop would be, I tend to not trade with stops where I have very large stops. So, I don't know. When I started trading, I just realized that my stops always got hit, and I just stopped using them the last time. Euro. Okay, let's see. So those were our trades from yesterday. So let's look at cryptos real quick. Showing a little bit of weakness and some pullback, which is fine, because we've had a really large rise up. Let's see, what is this? This is from the. Let's go here. Let's look at the daily. We've been in an uptrend now for 15 days. All right. We're finding some weakness right up against this long-term downtrend line. That could be bearish. We could potentially see lower prices from this level. That would be a little odd, but we are getting a lot of supportive buying. But structurally on the daily, this is a sign of weakness. We have this inverted hammer up here. But I tell you what, things just continue to get bought up in cryptos. I'll only have a short-term sell bias if we get down here, but for the time being, not overly concerned. We still need to get above and hold the 11,250 area. That is the goal, to close and trade above that. Litecoin, similar idea. We've flagged up here. We're continuing to flag. Nice rise up to 250. Promptly got slapped down yesterday, and we're back in the finding support at the 218.75 zone. And Ethereum is the laggard. Now I actually liquidated out all of my Bitcoin, and I've put it into Ethereum, because Ethereum is the major coin. So majors out of Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, the Coinbase pairs. Ethereum is the weak one. And what I'm liking to see right now, as I look through all of these pairs, is that a lot of the altcoins right now are positive against Bitcoin. So that's telling me that there's some capital rotating into alts. That's good. That's awesome. All right. Okay. Go back to our cryptos. Taking a peek here at, okay, I think we have some 8:45 news coming out, right? 7:55. 7:55 we have that. And let's see. Just trying to spot the where are you at? We have good. Actually, that's a kind of almost a slightly bullish formation on the euro there. Let's look at it. Yeah, it's not bad. See if it wants to hold that as a kind of a tweezer bottom. We'll see. I mean, this is pretty. It's like we're here's this long uptrend line, and it's like we're trying to find some support on it. So we have some breakdown area coming up here. If we take yield line here, okay, not that one. Maybe let's go from here to here. There we go. Yeah, close enough. Let's color that differently. Got enough lines on our screen as it is. So we're looking at it. Yeah, there is a lot of supportive structure here. If we take a peek at this, and actually, I don't know if that's adjusted correctly, but I guess we did on technicals on the hourly. We did break down below that trend line. So if we broke down it again, that would be pretty telling. Now, again, why did we go short up here? Because we've got, great. We've got 250 pips. I'm still holding shorts from up there, and we have that short bias based on really a number of things. This major 4/8. So this is the exact middle of the extreme high and extreme low of the euro of this pair, and so that's naturally we're going to find a lot of resistance there. This red line represents a pivot in time, and also we had that. Damn, that fell right on that, didn't it? We had a new moon phase. So again, new moon means that when there are markets that are at their swing highs, shorter long-term swing highs, there's a high chance that for the next 2 weeks you will see some bearish movement. And that is exactly what we had happen here. And so we are seeing some response off of that moon phase. All right, pretty cool. So that's why we have that short bias, and that continues because the next, our next moon phase isn't until the 1st of March. And so, do you hear that? A cat always cries when my wife's getting ready to leave. UJ. Now, how do the moon phases affect down markets? Not a whole lot. I mean, it's not. it's more common. So if something's in a downtrend and you're in a new moon, then it's common to see uh, uh, it's common to see prices kind of trade in a range. But this is kind of healthy because if we're going counter what the behavior of a moon cycle is, then that means when the new one comes up, and since we've been in this downtrend for a while, that we have really really strong bias for higher prices again in this kind of a instrument where related to where the price action is, its trend and the moon phase. So we do have a really good bias for this move traveling up. Probable short term here. I mean, we have an end of a time cycle here. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of bullish movement ahead for the dollar yen on technicals and on time cycles. New Zealand dollar, similar situation, trending market, weakness here. This is good sign. I like this sign. It's a very nice sign, showing a lot of weakness there. I'm waiting for this. It's not updating my news stuff. Oh well. Would really like to finally see a fallout, because the or breakout. I mean, a move in one major direction or the other, but I don't think we're going to get a lot of supportive buying on this pair. It's very close to this trend line and not getting a lot of support. Aussie dollar, ooh, falling through even lower. I'd like to see that. That's good. US dollar, Canadian dollar, good move. This is great on the hourly. This structure here is fantastic. Very nice, healthy kind of a move. It's pretty awesome, actually. Yeah, those are all looking pretty good. Sweet. Pound dollar. Now we had a pound dollar trade on Monday where we wanted to go short at 39.54 and or long at 140.07. So that 39.54, that did play out. So what I'm looking at, I want to make sure that the structure is correct. Okay, we are down below this angle here, but we're finding some support here. So the key, tight area showing up. Yeah, I know we avoided it yesterday. I'm going to say let's avoid it again today. Euro pound trades showing some good opportunities here. I always talk about the euro pound showing the most respect to a lot of technicals, and it really does. I mean, it's hard, as far as like using lunar cycles, it's hard to find a pair that doesn't respond as well to them as the euro pound. Obviously we've got a divergence there, that follow through sell off, but I mean we've got a lot of rule following. Let's look at the dollar index. Now, what's interesting is the US dollar CHF, this dollar Swiss, is lagging compared to the dollar index. Structurally, it's still there, but it's kind of lagging a little bit. Dollar index is continuing to go up. We actually looks like we have some divergence forming on this hourly here. Kind of some bearish divergence, it's looking like. But I mean, we also have these higher lows. So remember, regular bearish divergence is when we have higher highs in price, but we have lower highs in our oscillator. Okay, that's what we have going on here. Higher highs in price, lower highs in the oscillator. However, we have flat and neutral lows. And so if we're getting, we're not really getting lower highs, but we are getting, we're not getting higher lows or lower lows. The price is continuing to go up, and we are making lower highs. So there is a case for, I forget what it's called. It's not a common divergence, but we have some bias towards continued upwards momentum, especially because we see when the oscillator returns to this value area, it bounces off of it. But we're looking at some little bit of weakness right there, so we'll have to see what happens. UJ exhibiting a little bit of weakness here as we're getting into our news. What's interesting is that we're getting mixed signals. We're finding some weakness. Oh wait, we got news coming out 7:55. That's what we have going on here. So let's watch to see what happens with our trade pairs as Redbook comes out. That is a mover. And cryptos continue to show some weakness here, which a pullback would not be the most awful thing on the planet compared to the kind of moves we've had lately. A pullback to 10,100 again. Yeah, I see it. It can happen. What do we got going on here? Waiting for the news. Really like to see, New Zealand dollar is the one that we look at the most and has not really moved a whole lot. US dollar, Canadian dollar, still good. Pound's gaining some pressure. Would really like to see this fall down more. Gold might be catching a bid. Let's watch to see what our euro does. Wait for this news to get released. And we shall see what we shall see. Because our next one is on 9 o'clock. Want this news to hit, and then we'll kind of go with some trade ideas for the rest of them. All right, here we go. Redbook. Year over year. Previous 2.8, actual was 3.7. Higher than the last. And not a lot of response to it. Just fine. Actually, US dollar, Canadian dollar. Oop. So this is telling area. We may find, so that this is a pair that I wanted to keep an eye on because, okay, so we're going to, I don't know when this will play out, but we want to go long at a break and hold above 1.27. Okay, now there are quite a few things dealing with, this is like the oil pair, okay? This is the oil trade. Now, we have a whole lot of domestic production, shale production, that is really kind of messing with everybody in the planet who is a oil producer. The U.S. and Canada shale production is pretty powerful. And when oil gets cheaper, the U.S., this pair, the loonie, goes up. When oil is super expensive, it goes down. So this is a sign of weakness in oil prices and the strength of the dollar against it. And we are looking at an area that is either going to be a strong slap back and reversal down, which I really don't see that, or we're going to see a real nice big move continuation breaking above this angle I mean, there's a huge open zone above us, above 127. This guy could move big. It could move really, really fast to the upside. I mean, we could see some monstrous moves in UCAD. Pound dollar showing a little bit of weakness there. Euro pound pretty neutral. Euro kind of muted. Dollar finding a little support on this hourly price action here. New Zealand dollar. There's a lot of sell tails, a lot of buy tails here, but it looks like we're not getting a lot of buy tails right now on the composite index. We're showing some weakness, so we might finally get some moves south here on the New Zealand dollar, which would be pretty nice. Aussie dollar, okay, it's continuing to capitulate here, continuing to find not a lot of support on the arc yet. Last 2 hours have been pretty high volume, above average volume on the hourly. I want to look at this on the let's see here. I want to take a look at our cryptos real quick. Showing some weakness. Oh, don't want this to happen. So we're going to be bearish if we're below the cloud, but if the lagging span crosses below the if it crosses below the cloud too, then we have a real strong bias for some down movement. Because it's already broken this trend structure, so let's keep an eye out on that. Litecoin, I expect things to be bought up pretty quick in Litecoin. I'd be surprised if we had monstrous sell-off. I mean, be looking forward to a nice sell-off in Litecoin. That'd be kind of cool, actually. But yeah, Bitcoin Gold. I like Bitcoin Gold. I really do. That's doing its thing. EOS. Let's look at these other pairs here. 88 catching a nice bid there against Bitcoin. It's good to see. All right. I wanted to use the cloud to look at our Forex holdings. So we have a break. So we are trading below the 1, 4, and 8 hour clouds. Bearish, bearish, and bearish. I mean, kind of we're trading inside them, but we are below the 1 hour. The orange is the 4 hour, and the purplish blue is the 8 hour cloud. So we are below those. But on the composite index here, so this is the 8 hour. That's a supportive buy signal. The 4 hour, supportive buying. 1 hour, kind of neutral. So taking a peek at that. Now let's look at the dollar yen. We are inside the cloud here, but we are above the cloud on the hourly. So really, we could look at a pullback to 107.06. Around that zone to go long again. All right, that is the idea that we could follow on that. Swipe text. So pull back down to here would be nice. New Zealand dollar catching a bid. Aussie dollar catching a bid. Catching a bid. Although we are below this, so we're looking to short again up there. Pound dollar. Or euro pound. Weakness. Okay, so we are getting a little might get a little pullback on some of these trends, which would be nice. I mean, that'll make things a whole lot easier for re-entry. So looking at the euro dollar, let's look at the moves from swing to swing here. So we have this swing, and trying to come back down there. So we could get up to 123.39 short. Okay. So we'll say 123.8. Dollar yen. We have that one in. New Zealand dollar. We actually might be approaching a short between 0.736 and 0.734. Between here and down here. Aussie dollar. Now we are below, again, we're below the 8-4 and 1 hour. So I'm looking at a pullback probably to 0.7822. Did I say that right? 0.7822? No. 7872. Oh, if we get a break below the low here, we'll see it's getting rejected off that conversion line. I think maybe next week I'm going to do a whole session just on, maybe we'll go like a month of the Ichimoku system. That I don't know why, but a lot of the trading stuff lately, not with just you guys, has come up where folks are really interested again in the Ichimoku system, trying to learn it, how to use it, all that jazz. So it's a fantastic system. I mean, if you're struggling to make money in the market, if your system is not working, well, actually nothing will work if you're not emotionally in control for trading. But the Ichimoku system is hands down, in my opinion, the best way to learn how to trade. It's phenomenal. It's how I learned to become profitable. Catching a bid. Dollar yen, catching a little weakness there. All right. Look at these cryptos real quick. Okay, now we did find a bounce there. That's good. That's good. That's a good sign. So we might have a short-term pullback on these pairs, which is fine. That's wonderful. Got a couple trade ideas up on our portal. Let's look at cryptos again. Maybe finding some support at these current levels. Getting some buying there, Litecoin. Bullish candle forming there. Bitcoin. Might have a little double bottom forming here. Might be getting a sort of 8 hours. Yeah, we're getting some supportive buying signals on the 8 and 4 hour composite index. Yeah, good signs. We just don't want the lagging span to fall below the cloud. Then we have an issue. Then we have a problem. Maybe. We're still above the 4 and the 8 hour though. So, all right, cool. Yeah, I mean, we've got some good trades happening. Just be aware though that at 8:45 PMI comes out be careful of that. And home sales come out at 9. So there are market movers coming forward. Maybe for me, it's a good idea to, I've already looked at my positions this morning. I've closed some that are, in profit, but they could really easily get out of profit on big news. And I peeled off about half of my euro trade. My dollar yen trade peeled off about half. I exited my Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, and pretty much everything else is just kind of hanging around. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next hour here. I hope you guys have had a great week so far. I know we've had a pretty great week so far with our price action and our moves. It's been pretty great first 3 days of the week so far. So let's look for some pullbacks in these probable trend changes and get in on them as they happen. And let's continue our great trading tomorrow. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.